The next 20 minutes is a raw, unedited recording of me a couple days ago thinking about and expressing my ideas around how I was able to essentially master school, take 15 credits of STEM this last semester, getting a 99% as my lowest grade, and getting multiple courses over 100% in science and math related courses. I'll be back at the end of the unedited clip to make some final comments, potentially on things I forgot. All right, guys, let's talk about school. How did I end up getting over 100% in many of my college courses? How did I end up getting my worst grades being a 99? Here are my grades from last semester to show you right here. I don't know if I have my grades for my previous semester. I was at the community college the previous semester, got over 100% in all of my courses. I was only in 4, I was in 13 and a half credits. So that's whatever that is. How many? 6, 7, 8 courses, whatever it is, over 100%. 299s, I think. But yeah, how did I do this? I'm sure some people would like to know. I'm sure I would like to know because I look back on it and it's kind of like, dang, how did I do that? How did I get over 100% in so many courses? How did I get basically perfect grades in almost all the classes I took? All right. Sorry, guys. I was just publishing a video. Let me shut that. Okay. Well, let's think. I didn't go to school after high school right away. I didn't go to college right away. I took 2.5 years off before going to college. During that time, first thing I did was travel. I thought I was. It's kind of a long story. I was running my business in high school. It was exploding in my senior summer. I was getting overwhelmed. I'd made a lot of money. I was getting really stressed out. I was burning out. Eventually, I burned out. I was like, I just need to get out of here. I'm suffering too much. I ran from my problems, run away, go travel. Started just driving around wherever the wind took me at first by myself. Um, yeah, and I guess the first thing for getting, top grades, perfect grades, like unheard of pretty much is, well, I believed I could, first of all. And the belief that I could comes from proving to myself that I can do stuff I can be the best at certain things in the past. One thing at a time, one step after the other. Oh, I can do this. If I can do that, then I can do this. If I can do that or this, then I can do this as well. And it's kind of just a constant building of confidence and proving to myself, okay, I can do that. Yeah, I can. Okay, let's try. And I believe I can do it. Why? Because look, in the past, I've done things that other people said was impossible. You know, going to the most rigorous school in the state and getting top grades there, nearly a 4.0, while I wasn't even prioritizing school. I was prioritizing my business, making $100,000 from a business that I created on my own, and an industry that really didn't exist, an industry that I created and monopolized because I created it at first, scaled it to a level no one had ever done before. Like those kind of things then make me believe that I can do something similar in a different field, or the next time I do something, okay, I can do this again, or I can do it better, or I can do that. It's largely beliefs at the end of the day. Do you First of all, if you don't believe you can do it, to some extent, you believe it's impossible. It's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think it's a self-fulfilling prophecy either way. I think if you believe it's impossible, you're going to find ways to make it impossible. And if you believe it's possible and that you can do it and that you will do it, you're going to just not give up until you do it. And eventually it happens. So it's that belief that's the core, the foundation of everything. That belief in myself from high school, the business, the grades. Even though I didn't get high school, I had a few goals. One of them was to grow my business to 150 clients a week. Basically got there. If I didn't, I was so close. I was essentially there. Um, Another was to win the state soccer tournament. Didn't win that, right? Probably a great thing I didn't win that. Ended up getting or losing in the would have been the quarterfinals, the semifinals. Yeah, the semifinals. Tight, sad loss in the semifinals. It's probably great that I didn't win that because if I would have won that, I would have grown the business. Another goal was to read a book every 2 weeks. It was basically doing that. Another goal was to get a six pack. I don't know if I had a six pack, and it was basically just to be fit. I don't know how fit I was or six pack, but I started experimenting with dieting in high school, Whole 30 type stuff, Whole Foods only. Um, and yeah, those were my major goals. Another one was to get a 36 and go to Columbia or an Ivy League. That one I didn't achieve in high school at all. I got a 33 on the ACT in high school. Didn't even apply to any Ivy Leagues. I don't know why. It's fear, laziness. Maybe not laziness. I think it boils down to fear. Boils down to fear. I think. Yeah. Um, fear of rejection. That's a good one. Anyway, it's a good thing I ended up getting very close to most of my goals in high school. Very ambitious goals, but no cigar on all of them, really. I got very close and I reached a limit and then I didn't seem to achieve them. And that was very humbling, which was probably a good thing. If I would have got all those things, I'd probably be extremely arrogant and it would just be a matter of time until something didn't come true and my whole worldview collapses. Like, what? I thought everything was going to come true for me. So after high school, I get depressed. I travel. I get depressed. I rethink everything. I have to rebuild. My whole world changes. The high school little world expands to a global worldview. And now I'm just a tiny little minnow in an ocean, whereas I was a big fish in a small pond before. So there's a lot of reflection there, a lot of time alone. But during those years away, I made some incredible investments and not into stocks or anything, into experiences and uses of time and learning, and kind of just continually proving to myself that I can do things. So I go on a very restrictive diet, like 10 to 12 food items. And yeah, I sticked with that for like 9 months, only eating 10 to 12 items of food. So what others people probably would say is impossible, I did that. It's a Whole 30 times 9 and even more restrictive. So I know I got the discipline there. I proved to myself I can do that. I learned a lot about being sedentary and how that affects well-being, right? One of the major breakthroughs was learning how to learn, finding a course called Learning How to Learn. That was major breakthrough. If you want to get top grades in school, you probably should take that course. Yeah, the problem is with a lot of these things I'm going to talk about, I was able to do them outside of school, and which is why I was able to excel in school. If I tried to do things while in school, I'll end up getting what I got in high school, and that is like getting above average in everything I do, getting close to my goals, but never really becoming the best at anything, or you know, not doing the best I could because you're siphoning your attention and your energy and your resources into multiple high energy pursuits, and you only have so many. You have a limited amount of resources. You have a limited amount of time. So that became a kind of a mantra I followed for a while. I still do. I mean, that's just how I was able to get basically perfect grades in school. In 15 credits of STEM was okay, this is my priority. This is what I'm focusing on. I'm not focusing on reading other books. I'm not focusing on learning how to learn. I'm not focusing on anything outside of being the best at school right now. And that's what I did for the entire semester. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, my whole life has just been a pursuit of getting closer to being able to just focus on one thing for extended periods of time and become the best at what I'm doing. That's really what it is. So yeah, I mean, do you want the practical stuff for how to get the best grades? I can give you the practical stuff. You got Learning How to Learn course. It's the largest massively offered online course. It's on Coursera. It's free. You can complete it very quickly. I spent a lot of time. I spent months as that being my main priority, only doing one Pomodoro a day, which you can learn about in the course, Pomodoros. That's how I approach studying is Pomodoros for the most part. It allows me to study for, I mean, let's check it out. If I would just tell you, like, okay, here's my studies, you know, these are finals. So I studied 8 hours. I studied for 7 hours of biology in one day. If I woke up and was like, I'm going to study for 7 hours of biology today, it'd be too overwhelming. I wouldn't be able to do it. But since I just kept doing 25 minutes, okay, 5 minute break, 10-minute break. Okay, let's do another 25 minutes. Okay, let's do another 20 minutes. That's how you do 7 hours. That's how you do 7.5 hours this day on Sunday. That's how you do 8 hours on Sunday or Saturday. That's how you do six. And then you stack these 16 on this weekend, 16 on this weekend, start doing eight a weekend. But studying for 5 hours, 6 hours, 4 hours every day every day for 4 months or however long the semester was, 17 weeks. The least amount I studied in one day was 3 hours, and that was on Thanksgiving, I believe. So there's the major theme. The first major theme was belief. You got to believe you can do it. Second, you got to make it your priority, and you got to spend such an obnoxious amount of time and energy, such an obnoxious amount. It was my life, absolutely my life. Yeah, and I tracked all that time, and all those times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day of studying, 9 hours a day of studying. That doesn't include school. That just includes studying on my own and doing schoolwork on my own. So, yeah, no wonder, if you put that much time into school, you do a lot better than you did. Okay, so you get belief in yourself. You've got putting a shit ton of time in. You've got learning how to learn. All right, up there with learning how to learn, maybe more important, maybe not more, but equally important is a book right here. It's likely the most important book I've ever read, at least for school. It's called Mindset by Carol Dweck. It's a book about changing from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, I think it popularized the term growth mindset. You've probably heard of it. Most people don't know what a growth mindset is. They think they know what it is. They don't actually know what it is. A growth mindset is basically seeing effort and discomfort as the means to growth, and that you can grow in anything significantly at any point, including intelligence. So if you don't think intelligence is, or if you think intelligence can't change and it's just something you're inborn, it's natural, you can't change it, that's a fixed mindset. If you think people are just talented at certain things and that's it, they're just talented, they can't really change. I'm just talented at soccer, or I'm just talented at guitar, or I'm just talented at basketball, or I'm just talented at school, or I'm just good at math, and that's it, and I can't change that, and other people aren't talented at it, and some people are, and that's it. That's all fixed mindset. Horrible. It will stunt your success completely. It will stagnate you. Adopting a growth mindset where you believe you can increase your intelligence through effort, strategy, and guidance. You can increase your talent. It's the most freeing thing ever, and it makes life a lot better. I've got these things up on my wall. These are from the growth mindset book. This is from the mindset book. Absolutely essential. So there's that. You've got massive time investment, learning how to learn, growth mindset, belief in yourself. There's four things you need to be able to perform at that level. Another thing is basically health. I think sleep is the keystone habit. You need to have a consistent sleep schedule in order to maintain that high of an output of energy over that long of a period. I mean, if you want to put in, I don't know, whatever I was doing, 50, 60, 60 to 65, 55 to 65, probably more realistic, I was probably doing 55 to 60 hours a week of school. And all that time is at insane productivity levels. I'm not just tired and grinding. I'm not just doing busy work. I'm putting out high energy, high creativity, high productivity hours, every one of those hours. And the only way you can maintain that level for that long is if you have the same amount of energy every day and you have consistency. If some days you're tired and some days you're not tired, you're screwed. You lose. Okay? Because then it's gonna get in your head and it's gonna be a whole ordeal. Okay? So consistency and energy is absolutely essential. You need to know how to predict how you're going to feel. And you need to feel the same every day in order to do the same things every day and keep growing. So during that period, I didn't get sick at all because I was consistent enough with my routine. I didn't get sick. I had all these people coughing and sniffling all around me, people getting sick. I was able to, through consistency, not get sick. So sleep, going to bed and waking up at the same time and getting enough sleep every night, that's another keystone thing you're going to need. That's like 5 things we're at now. I was eating essentially only whole foods because I didn't want to get sick, and there's no point in eating shitty food and candy and garbage like that. Another thing, saying no to basically everything. I didn't go out to a bar. I didn't do anything at all, like the whole semester. Nothing that would interfere with my sleep schedule. I hung out with friends and family, maybe a couple hours, like literally a couple hours. We're talking like a handful of hours per week, and those were on the weekends. I don't think I socialized or did anything on the weekdays except for schoolwork. I went to one event, which was the launch of the Bachelor of Science in Artificial Intelligence. That's the only time I did really anything during the weekdays. During Thanksgiving and breaks, fall break, continue to work every day. 6 hours of studying on those days. And that's like a break for me, 6 hours a day, because I didn't have to go to school on top of that. So massive sacrifices, right? It's your number one priority, right? That's how you become the best. And what else we got? I think that basically is most of it. Saying no, and everything else is like you're not doing anything else. And for food, like I'm eating the healthiest food I can, but the higher priority is how little time can I spend. So Chipotle, 2 minutes down the road, that was my go-to, basically daily food. Or also eating at school, the healthiest option I had at school, because then I don't have to cook, then I don't have to clean, and I also got food at Chipotle, which I don't have to wait for them to cook. It's ready right away. It's the fastest food essentially. Same thing with school. I was getting Indian food from like a Chipotle style, like they've already got it cooked. You just say what you want, they give you it. So there's that. I mean, I got my supplements to keep me healthy. Those are Blueprint from Brian Johnson. So health is another staple. Practically though, that mindset and learning how to learn, those are the most important practical things. Maybe Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Anything else? Pomodoros. But that's all part of learning how to learn. Yeah, I mean, and it's a continuous process. You got to be flexible. The way I started out school was not the way it ended. If I could go back to the beginning of this last semester with the knowledge I now know of how to learn and my method of learning, which largely revolves around mind mapping from memory and using ChatGPT to hyper learn, I would learn 10 times more than because I only reached or neared this level of learning in this learning system the last month of school. Like the 4 months of school this semester were literally continuously developing my learning system. But yeah, maybe I'm forgetting some stuff, maybe not. This is a raw video. Maybe I'll make a more edited video for a bigger audience later on. But yeah, there's no secrets. I've just given you all the secrets, like belief in yourself, extreme hard work, extreme sacrifices, like the logistics of time. Like you've only got so much time in the day. You've got to say no to everything else. Proper learning strategies, a growth mindset. Yeah. That's how you do it. That's how you get a 100% or more in all your classes, or 99% or more in all your classes. Yeah. Talk to you guys later. All right, guys. One more thing I didn't address in this video or in that clip was motivation. So how did I maintain motivation for 4 months? What motivated me, right? And I don't know exactly how to articulate this, but I was able to basically come to the conclusion that this school and completing this semester and completing it to my best ability was the absolute best use of my time I could possibly. There's nothing else I could possibly do that was a better use of my time than that, and I fully believe that. And in a video called something like Last Video for a Min, I posted right before I started school. Basically, I was working on 5 goals. I basically said, this is the goal. This leads to me to everything I want. This is how to do it. This is my pathway to everything I want. And I fully believe that. And that wasn't just like I just came up with that there, then and there. This is like years of deliberation on investing, usage of time, compound interest, what's the best use of time, what's the best investment of time. And yeah, so if you got any questions, feel free to comment them. Follow me on Instagram, DM me if you got any questions or anything you want to talk about related to school or learning or this video. Subscribe, like. If you made it this far, surely you got some value from it, so do me a favor. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. All right, guys, before I go, 2 more things I realized. One, largely this whole mastery of school is largely a mastery of self. It's largely an ability to say, this is what I'm going to do, and then doing it over and over again. And being able to say things and stick with your word. Largely, it's that. Another thing is also flexibility and not being too rigid, right? It's a balance. It's flowing like water. Like I said, my learning system at the end of the school year or the semester was almost unrecognizable to the one I started with, through adaptive iteration and continually evolving and improving my system and adapting to the changing needs. So that's where I'll end it. Maybe I'll talk about this more in the future. Subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.